As Hippocrates once said, "Let thy medicine be thy food, and food thy medicine." All of us know how important it is to eat well, but that can often be easier said than done. It's usually easier and even cheaper to swing by the drive-thru and pick up a bacon cheeseburger than eat something that will actually make you feel good afterward. Especially in light of so many people having to change their lifestyle so abruptly, we've gotten extra requests to cover the topic of eating well, and especially for beginners. In today's video, we'll be covering 10 ways to eat healthy to help you meet your health goals. Note that we're not going to be talking about specific diets or specific foods that you should be eating, but rather giving you guidelines to create a plan that's best for you and your circumstances. Now before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell notification to get new videos that come out every Wednesday and Friday. Let's get to the list. Number 10. Talk to your doctor. Of course, it's true that we need to say this as a disclaimer before going into other parts of the list, but the truth is that it's a good idea in general before starting any sort of change to your diet. There might be some extenuating circumstances that can affect what sort of diet plan you can have. For example, if you're hypoglycemic, you may want to avoid low-carb diets. Or if you have high cholesterol, keto may not be the best option for you. Regardless, it never hurts to get a professional opinion before making any major changes to your lifestyle. Number 9. Use popular diets as a reference, but not gospel. Popular diets have been associated with mixed results as unsustainable practices for decades. But they exist in the first place because there's at least a grain of good advice hidden inside. For example, the Atkins diet is not sustainable for most people, but it did get a lot of us understanding how carbs play a role in weight gain. You can pick and choose some of the better points of multiple diets and create something that works best for you so that you can create a personalized plan that will last. Number 8. Understand your goals. When most of us think of diets, it's usually understood that somebody wants to lose weight. But that's not always the case, as some people want to add muscle, others want to gain weight, while still others aren't concerned about weight at all, but just want to improve their overall health. If you understand from the beginning where you want to end up, it'll make your planning much easier and directed. Number 7. Know what you're eating. While most experts agree that you shouldn't stress out about every calorie you eat, it's still a good idea to know what food you're putting inside your body and what's inside that food. Going along with understanding your goals, have a general understanding of portion sizes and the nutritional content of the ingredients in your meals. The more you do that, the better you can adjust them to fit with where you currently are and where you want to be. For foods that are sold in packaging, you can easily find that information in the nutritional listing. Otherwise, for fresh and unprocessed foods, you can easily find that sort of information by either doing a web search or downloading one of countless apps for that purpose. Number 6. Make an inventory of your favorite foods. Changing your diet doesn't mean you have to suffer. While most of us would probably count pizza or burgers in that list of our favorite foods, you might be surprised to find out how many healthy options you actually enjoy more than junk food. If you base a diet based on the foods you like instead of the foods that you think you should be eating, it'll be a lot easier for you to make sustainable changes that can give you long-term results. Even though celery might be good for weight loss, maybe you can't stand this stuff, but really like cucumbers. There's no shame in swapping one healthy item for another if that's what it takes to keep you on the right track. Have questions about how you can improve your diet or have tips that work for you specifically? Feel free to leave them down in the comments. Now back to the list. Number 5. Process your own foods. We've all heard of the dangers of getting processed foods at the supermarket, but processed foods are only bad for you if they're processed in a way to make them bad for you. Unfortunately, most of what you find on the grocery shelves is designed for profit and not optimal health. But nobody said you have to eat everything raw. YouTube and various other recipe websites have countless ideas for making healthy food fun and delicious. Did somebody say cauliflower pizza? Number 4. Don't be afraid of failure. Any diet plan that will tell you that you can never have anything bad ever is probably a recipe for disaster. We're all human, and we like to occasionally enjoy food and drink that we know isn't necessarily the best for us. What happens is that when people create a strict diet plan, they abandon ship as soon as they veer off course a little bit. An occasional cheat day or even an expected cheat week doesn't mean you have to give up and go back to your old ways. One bad meal won't make you fat, just like one good meal won't make you skinny. Number 3. Mix it up. Some people love to eat the same thing in the same way every day for their entire life. But for the rest of us, variety is the spice of life. Unless you have doctor's orders to have a very narrow range of food, there are plenty of options out there for delicious and nutritious ingredients that can fit all diet plans. Remember, a lot of foods are only as good as you prepare them. So if you're tired of chicken breasts and have always wanted to try rabbit, knock yourself out. Not only does variety in a diet help you stick to it, but you may end up finding a new favorite food in a place you never expected. Number 2. Be prepared. One of the fastest ways to get off track on a healthy eating regimen is to be taken off guard. Sadly, the most convenient and readily available foods are often some of the most unhealthy. If you forgot to pack your lunch, you may find yourself ending up in the drive-thru and making a big, greasy mistake. Whether you prepare your foods daily or even weekly, having something that's quick and easy to grab instead of having to go through the cooking process every time you have a meal is one of the most important tips for long-term success. At our core, humans tend to seek out the path of least resistance. If you have something ready to go without having to do any additional work other than popping a container into the microwave, you'll have less temptation to seek out the golden arches. And our number 1 tip, listen to your body. One of the things you'll find as you improve your diet is how different your relationship with your body will be. The more you experiment and feel the changes in your body, the more you'll start to understand which types of foods make you feel great and energized, and which are better off left in the rearview mirror. A healthy diet is one of the greatest investments you can make in your future, and one that will pay you dividends for decades to come. Just like going to the gym, changing your diet at first can be extremely difficult. But over time, you'll find that you won't even miss those foods that you thought you couldn't live without. Just be sure to plan ahead and make sure that you're doing what's best for you and your body. And soon enough, people will be asking you for advice. Eating healthy is something we all should be doing. So if you know someone who needs to clean up their act or doesn't know how to start, be sure to share this video with them. Also, if this video made you feel like taking the plunge to a healthier you, smash that like button and subscribe to this channel or visit us at verloda.com for more videos and articles like this. Until next time, this has been your friends at Verloda wishing you good health.